I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog.
Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
It's a keeper with Prescott. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Hey, here we go. Then we're going to 53. Man, I got you. Check 48's the mic. We're going to 54.
Prescott to throw this time. Rolling to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Switch. Here we go. Going to 54. Going to 54.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Then we're going to 53.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
We're going to 54. I'm coming. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Let's go!
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Raiders' 41-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go play action with Jackson. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
A, B, and C.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Switch it. Go 46, 46. Fresh down, fresh down, fresh down. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Check 15, check 15. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54. Here we go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Then we're going to 53. Kill. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points. You stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, the great coach has said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Throwing is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Jackson on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem? Every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At 47. We got it. Kill. We're going to 54. Why is 26.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott flush to his right. Catch made. It's Moreau. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, kill. 57 to 47. Here we go. Going to 54. Why ain't 65. Bang. 26.
the gun. Here's Prescott. And Stills bringing it in. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Max Crosby. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time for and the pressure gets to him again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Here we go, 47.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Interception, baby.
If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
At the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Here we go. 15 on it. 15 on it. Win championship.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson buying time to his left. And I think the ball's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Being chased out left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought at worst. Quarterback sneak, try and pick up the first down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Mike 36. Line over. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line 86.
Prescott now. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Prescott now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch 36. 36. Here we go. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. 7 yards on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now Jackson on first down. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Ravens 7, Raiders 0.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20. As his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Mike, we're going to 53. Under 10. Under 10.
Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This is fielded at the 7. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it first. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Prescott under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The 2-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Jackson back into his end zone. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Jackson, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 12, and the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And whatever adjustments they made at intermission, they're working because the first half they didn't look so hot. Now they seem to be clicking.
And you know me really well, partner. A lot of the time I like to downplay the idea of adjustments. Maybe it's just they executed better. But in this case, I think you're right on to something. They look so much sharper, so much better. They obviously saw something they needed to change, and they did exactly that.
Change is working right now. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught. What a grab at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
57 to Mike. We're going to 54. Right here. Let's go. Go. You got tape. You got tape.
Throwing. Prescott. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now Prescott. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
We're going to 53. We don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. We're going 47. 26.
Prescott to throw it. And he'll find Moreau here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Raiders on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
36 to Mike. I don't think you just lost.
Prescott from the gun. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 14. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
At the 6-yard line.
And again, it's Prescott. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4.
The Ravens take over.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll look to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
50 seconds to mine. Going to 54. Going to 54.
He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. And an alley to run. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Mike, 36. Mike. Then we're going to 52. It's on field. It's on field.
Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And they will take a knee here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Ravens, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Not a day of my life. Lost my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day of my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple spoon. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Lost my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend a day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up. Never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now